Hey fellas, Doc and Tanya here to give our CPI stem cell update. Apologize, we're a little bit late for the 1 week update, so we're kind of at the week and a half point. At 1 week, I was doing pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing pretty good. Tanya, not so much. So
It's terrible.
So we have two different reports. So I'll let Tanya start off because I've been doing most of the talking here lately. So I'm gonna let Tanya start off on her where she was at 1 week from CPI, and Tanya, fill us in.
Well, it started, my neck was the worst. They injected between my fusion, which is 3 through 6. I actually have a plate right there, and they injected between my fusion and my spine. So that was a little bit tougher.
She was the worst case out of the entire group. So I'd add that in.
Yeah, I actually had to go first. And my surgery, I think, was 4 or 5 hours, something like that. But that one, and then they did 5 facets, which are the little points of the top of your vertebra. They did from C3 all the way down to T1. So they did from the top of C3. They don't want to touch C1 and C2 because that's your atlas and axis, too close to the brainstem. So they did those. That was probably one of my worst, as far as like I had a headache for nonstop for a week, nonstop. It finally let go and I'm headache free. I mean, it's amazing. I did quite a bit of stretching, which they told me I could do, because I knew that there was not going to be any way I could get away with not stretching my neck. I'm usually always cracking it, but I could just stretch it left and right, and that helped a lot. Also with the tightness. So not being on any ibuprofen or anything like that, but on some pain medication. But it doesn't really work for me, so where it works for him, it doesn't work that well. Yeah, knocks him out. It doesn't really work for me. So I really didn't even take any. And really my worst one, but they couldn't do much about it, like we said in the earlier, was my neuralgia in my face. They did a temporary block on this side of my face, and
it was great for about 16 hours.
Not even
hours.
that. No, it was like 12 hours. Like when I woke up from then till about dinner time, which, well, maybe after dinner time, I guess. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I was like, oh, I mean, I felt it. It was there, but it was different.
The pain and the numbing and the tingling and the freezing sensations were all gone.
The tingling was still there. But like my nose felt better, and my lip, it all felt better. Today, I can say it has changed. I think more or less because of the IV stem cells running to this area, knowing it's hurt. Now I kind of have, it's more or less at the bottom of my nose, some of it going up into the extension of my right nose, and a little bit on the bottom part of my nose, and then my full upper lip, but more on this side. This is the main side that was affected, and then this side was just vaguely affected.
And for a little backstory on her trigeminal neuralgia problem, she's been kicked by horses multiple times, and I'm sure that had nothing to do with it at all.
Oh,
Nothing.
Not being kicked right
So
here.
I've seen some pictures of her like eye laid over the rest of her face and stuff. So that's to be expected on that. So her trigeminal nerve issue was pretty bad. Her neck issue was pretty bad. Enough that it pretty much trumped her shoulder problems and her ankle problems. Kind of like me. I had more shoulder problems and ankle problems than anything going in. And, excuse me here, we got a little, coming out, I had, this hand that hadn't bothered me in about a year, was so swollen and lightning bolts shooting down it after the injections, and my lower back.
It's a lot better.
You know, this one. But you can kind of see they're almost back to normal. This had like a baseball in there. My lower back was really, really stiff, sore, and tight, and it hasn't bothered me daily in the last year or so. Just a hard day work, like setting railroad ties, doing a lot of stuff. I hit the ranch. At the end of the day, my back is screaming. Well, it was screaming for pretty much a week. I had to go do some work this weekend. I did an appearance. We took the race car out and had to do an appearance. So I did a lot of, I did more than I should have, but not near what I usually do. But there is a lot of standing and been over involved in signing autographs and shaking hands at these appearances. And at the end of the day on Friday night, I had to take a pain pill and get knocked out. Saturday, I started off slow and easy, and it was a very, very manageable, mild day with my back. Sunday, no back pain at all. So I can tell you the shoulder and ankle was pretty much immediate relief. The hand and back came back, but now a week and a half later, my lower back today's doing good. Yesterday did good. Just a little bit stiff, a little soreness in it. My hand back to 100% before surgery. It's not fixed yet. I can still tell that there's something going on in there, but it is back to pre-surgery or maybe even a little bit better. My right ankle, 100% better. I have not been woken up by any kind of ankle or foot pain. When I get up in the morning, my first 10 steps are usually just through fire and pain. That hasn't happened since the injections. So I can say that they are better. So the shoulder tip pain that I had daily has not came back. 2 nights ago, I slept with my arm out. This is the way I like to sleep. And it's the first time I've been woken up by a shoulder pain by trying to stretch my arm back in the middle of the night. That woke me up.
Last night.
So the shoulder is better. Is it where it needs to be? Not yet. Still early. Ankle, 100% better. Is it 100% back to normal? I'm not ready to say that yet, but it is better. It is lots better. Hand, way better than post-injection. So that's better. And my back is finally not stiff and sore all day long. Now it has a little bit of just bouts of me being stupid and doing too much during the day. That's just about it. So I'm going to give it a 100% passing grade. I am glad we did it. I'm glad I did it.
Hasn't even been that long.
And it's only been 10 days.
My ankles, you guys, they are so much better. Like the first week I was like, I don't know. But I know it takes time. But yesterday, for the first time, I was actually able to walk up a little hill with no pain.
So
that for me is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So Tanya trains horses daily. She's either on a horse or lunging a horse pretty much 6 to 7 days out of the week. And by the end of the day, she comes in, showers, and she goes to bed or sits down and never moves again because her bone-on-bone ankles are so bad that you just can't move. Anybody that's had kind of pain like that can understand. So before I left to go do the appearance on Thursday afternoon, she hadn't had a good day. Not one good day. It was all worse than before injections, before the CPI stuff. So we had 2 different responses and reactions to these injections. One very positive, and a good outlook, and the other one almost wishing she hadn't done it. And then for her to come in yesterday afternoon and tell me that, hey, I walked up the hill. We have an outdoor covered arena outside, and that's got a pretty big hill going down to the other pins. And she said she walked up the hill and it didn't hurt for the first time ever since we've been here. So ever.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard her actually utter the words of an improvement since the CPI injections and the CPR procedure. So that was big. That was huge. I was like, oh, thank God. Finally, Tanya's seeing some benefits of the CPI, the stem cell treatment that we received. We paid a bunch of money for, spent a week away from our work and commitment, our family, getting it all done. And finally, she's seeing some benefits. Had a lot of
painful. I mean,
she said
I'd totally do it again, but it was.
It was.
I mean,
I'm not a needle guy. I don't like giving blood. I can't watch them. IVs, it's just not me. I can skin a deer and eat a sandwich at the same time, but it comes to sticking needles in me, it's not my thing.
don't mind.
My hand is still very, very sore from the IV that was stuck and left in for 2 days when we did the overnight. It's still pretty sore. Like right now I'm talking to y'all, that's the worst part, is I'm still sore from the IV that we kept. We got that
The
IV
one from
Wednesday
overnight,
and they kept it in overnight. So it was Wednesday, Thursday, a 2-day IV.
I will have to say mine.
All the other IVs were 1-day IVs, so that's really bad for me because I don't like getting poked. And then all the injections are needles and pokes. So luckily I had lower back, anything to do with the spine, they put you out. She had the neck, so anything to do with the spine, they put you out. And neither one of us were awake for any of the other joint injections. So I didn't have to go through that. I've been through some ultrasound guided injections in my shoulder, where they just spray the topical on there and give you a little shot of a lidocaine or whatever. And it is not fun for me. The doctor's like, here, you want to watch? I'm like, hell no, just get this shit over with. So I didn't have to deal with any of that. The Valium that they gave me, and then whatever they put in my IV right before they rolled me back for the procedures.
I'm sorry, it makes me laugh.
I was out. I could feel him. He started doing the ultrasound on my shoulder. That's where they started. I could feel the cold gel and feel him starting to work around, and that was it. I never even seen the needle, so that was good for me. Would I do it again at 10 days? Absolutely, without a doubt, would I do it again. And now that Tanya has seen some improvement on her injections, I believe she would say absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, do we have a long ways to go? Yes, no doubt, without a doubt. Tanya's probably got a little bit longer road than me because of the aches and pains and where she had her injections and why she had her injections. But I just can't wait for 3 months. I mean, that 3 to 6 months, you know, and you're supposed to be feeling the full effects of the first stem cell treatment at 6 months. Me and Tanya both got approved for the comeback for data acquisition. So we're going to come back at 6 months and get at least 30 million stem cells injected and IV, or any combination. If my shoulder's not 100% right, I'll get another shoulder injection and the rest in the IV. We also have the option to buy more stem cells. If I have other aches and pains that hasn't been fixed or starting to get better from the IVs, then we can modify and change the injection procedure at 6 months. So anyways, I've been on here about 14 minutes. It was just, I was a little bit late on the 7-day, the 1 week update, so I apologize for that. But there you go, Doc and Tanya, we approve CPIs all the way. It's the way to go.